guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 2 of my A to Z of baby names. Today I'm going to do the boys' baby names for you. Boys' names I find so much harder than girls' names. I am so fussy with boys' names, so there's probably going to be lots where I'm like, I wouldn't ever use it, but this was the best I could come up with. I just find boys' names so hard. As I did with the girls' names, I should quickly say, as I did with the girls' names, I have left out a couple of names that I'm really loving at the moment, just in case if we have another baby in the future, I want to use these names. So there's a couple I've left out that are my absolute faves, but apart from that, these are my current A to Z of favourite baby names. So, rambling as always. For A, I have gone for Artie. I think Artie's so cute. Archie's really popular at the moment. But I really like Artie. It could, of course, be like a nickname for Arthur. I have a cousin Arthur, so it's not a name I would ever actually use, but I could definitely see myself using Artie. I think it's really, really, really sweet, really cute, has that vintage sound that, again, I know I always harp on about, but I really like a vintage sounding name, and Artie definitely has that, and I just think it's a really, really sweet name. For B, I've gone for a name with that very similar, like, T sound at the end, and that is Bertie. Again, Bertie could of course be short for Albert. I think I just prefer Bertie on its own. I think it's really cute, really vintage sounding, and is definitely something I would consider in the future. It's not like my front runner, but it's definitely on my list. I really like the name Bertie. For the letter C, I really actually struggled to come up with a name I liked beginning with C. Also, our surname begins with a C, so I don't think it's something I would probably go for, like that C sound. I think it can be a little bit of a mouthful. But my favourite name beginning with C is probably Cooper. It's a little bit American sounding, which isn't kind of the style of names I normally go for, but there's just something about Cooper I think is really cute. I think Coop for a little boy. Yeah, probably not something I would actually go for, and Cooper Cotter would... It's a lot of C's and sounds, so it wouldn't work. But I do think it is a really, really cute name and the nicest I could come up with for C. For D, it's one that's been on my baby name list forever. It's just been hovering around on the list on my phone, and that is Dexter. I love the name Dexter. I'm a massive fan of the Dexter TV series. It's Andrew's favourite series of all time. We are big, big Dexter fans in this house. But as I've mentioned, our surname is Cotter, so Dexter Cotter, it just doesn't work, it just doesn't sound right, that ter kind of clashes and just doesn't work. But I absolutely adore the name Dexter, and if we had a different surname, it would definitely be something we would consider. For E, I had quite a bit of choice. There were surprisingly quite a few names I liked beginning with E, which I hadn't realised I was such a big fan of E names for boys. But I've gone for Elias. This was one that was on our baby name list for Wilf. We were completely considering it. I just really like it. It's a really strong name, but it's kind of like a bit pretty at the same time. As I like such pretty girls' names, I think that's why I struggle maybe with boys' names a bit. They're just not very pretty on the whole. I really like Ezra. I think that's really pretty for a boy's name. But Ezra's got super, super popular now, and Andrew would never have let me use it because of Pretty Little Liars. But yeah, I really like Elias. I think it's got that kind of like prettyish sound to it. Yeah, and it was definitely a contender for Wilf and would still be on my list for future. I don't know why we didn't use it in the end, but yeah, I just really like it. I think Elias is a really lovely name. For F, again, was probably the main contender apart from Wilf, for when we were having Wilf and picking his name, and that was Franklin. I've always loved that name. I love that it can be shortened to Frank, which is like a very old man name, which is totally like our style for baby names. Yeah, I love Franklin as well. I've mentioned this before, so sorry if you've watched my baby name videos before and this is a bit like a stuck record for you. But again, another song related kind of reasoning behind this song. Franklin, me and Andrew are massive Paramore fans. Our first date when we were like 16 was we went to see Paramore. We've seen them loads of times. We absolutely love them. They're like our band. And yeah, Franklin is like one of our songs. I feel like I'm doing this a lot. It's our song, Franklin, by Paramore. So we have like such a connection with that name. And we went for Wilf in the end, but I do have a lot of love for the name Franklin as well. For G, I've gone for the name Gray. I used to really like Grayson. Before I was pregnant, I always said if I have a baby boy, he's going to be called Grayson, but it's got super popular, so we didn't end up going for it when we did find out we were pregnant with Wilf. But I just love grey on its own. I love the colour grey, like it just goes with everything, doesn't it? Not a reason to pick a baby boy's name because the colour grey goes with everything, but I just like the connotations with grey, and I just think it's like strong but soft at the same time. Like it's very soft sounding, but because it's like short and punchy, I think it's quite a strong name. So yeah, I just really like grey. I do like Grayson, but I think I prefer grey on its own these days. For H, I've gone for a name that wasn't on my list for Wilf, but it is on my list currently for if we have another baby. But nobody else I mention it to likes it, which is obviously a problem. Andrew doesn't like it, so obviously we couldn't use it. But it's Hal, just H-A-L. I just think it's so cute. Again, I think it's like quite a little old man name, little old Hal. But I think it like really suit a baby. I think it's cute, but I think it's strong. I think it could like suit them throughout their whole life. And I really like it, but no one else likes it. Let me know in the comments if you like Hal, or if I'm completely alone on this one. I think it's really sweet, but nobody seems to be with me. What next? For I was between two. I've always really liked the name Isaac, so that would definitely be a contender, but I really do like Indigo as well. It's obviously a colour name, which isn't normally... Ooh, Wolf's having a party next door with Andrew. Yeah, it's Indigo. It's a very unisex name. I think you could use Indigo for a boy or a girl. Indy for short, I think is really cute, especially for a little boy. It's probably a little bit like more modern and like a bit cool for what I would normally go for with a name. As I mentioned, I definitely prefer like more of a vintage name. But there is something about Indigo I just really do like. I think it's like a lovely little name. For J, it is one of my all-time favourite boys' names. It's been on my list forever, and that is the name Joseph. I love Joseph. I think it's such like a classic, strong name, but I think it's like really cool sounding. I just love it. But I didn't use it with Wilf, and I don't know if I'd use it in future because I don't like it shortened. I don't really like Joe. I don't really like Joey. Sorry if like you have Joes or Joeys. I'm just not keen. I just love Joseph on its own, and I know it would end up getting shortened. So yeah, I would definitely middle name it if I had another boy maybe. But I don't think I would ever use it on its own for that reason, because I'd constantly be like, it's Joseph, okay? K, as with the girls' names, K's really hard. Again, I just felt like everything sounded so like Kardashian, like you'd just picked a normal name that began with C and stuck a K on the front anyway, which is exactly what I've had to do for this boy's name, because I just couldn't think of anything I like, and I've gone for Caleb, but with a K. I like Caleb, don't get me wrong, but it's not like... I probably wouldn't choose it. Definitely wouldn't choose it with a K. Just personal preference. Again, please, if you have any of these names, please don't be offended, but it's just not for me. But it's the best I could come up with, and I do like Caleb, just not with a K normally. For L, again, found that really hard. There's not tons of L names I like. I've gone for Luca. I think Luca's really cute. You could have Luca for a girl or a boy. It's quite a unisex name. So I've picked that for L, but I'm not crazy about it, so I'm just gonna like move on past that one. For M, I've gone for a name I really love. I love this name, and that is Maximilian. Obviously you'd shorten it to Max probably, or Maxi, but Maximilian, I just think what a cool name. What a little dude would Maximilian be. I think Maximilian Cotter sounds really cool. And it would definitely be something I would choose if my cousin's little boy wasn't called Max. I say little boy, he's not that little anymore, but yeah, if he wasn't called Max, it'd definitely be something I'd consider, because I just think Maximilian's really cool. But yeah, I probably wouldn't ever use it for that reason. For N, I've gone for a name that's like super popular. It has to be in the top 10, I reckon, for boys' names in the UK, and that is Noah. I love the name Noah. I just love the sound. Again, I like that it's quite girly. It can be quite unisex. I know there's quite a lot of girl Noahs around at the moment, which I really like. I just really like the name Noah, but yeah, probably wouldn't use it because it's super popular, but I do really like it. O is another one that is on my current boys' name list, but nobody else seems to like, and it's really annoying me. My mum doesn't like it, Andrew doesn't like it, so it's pretty much on my list for no reason because it'll never get used. So if any of you like this, please use it because I think it's such a lovely name, and that is Ossie, O-S-S-I-E. I'll put all the spellings on the screen anyway, but Ossie, I just think it's so cute. And I don't know why my mum and Andrew don't like it because I think Ossie and Wilf would sound really cute. But yeah, they're just not a fan, they just don't like it. I don't really know why, because I think it is lovely. For P, I have gone for Percy. Again, really vintage, really old man name, right up my street. I know it's probably not for everyone, but I love it. I think Wilfred and Percy would sound like the cutest little old men ever. I just love it. There's not a lot to say. I just think Percy is so cute. Again, I think it's quite like soft and pretty for a boy's name, which is quite hard to find, and I just really like it. And I think Percy needs to be brought back and given a new lease of life. As I mentioned on my girls video, my Q name is the same for girls and boys. There's not tons of choice for Q names, obviously, but this is a name I genuinely really love. I do prefer it for girls, but I like it for boys too, and that is Quinn. As I mentioned in my other video, there's a Quinn in Scandal. She's a female Quinn, and it just made me love the name. But yeah, I do like it for a boy too, so I think that's a really nice unisex name. For R, I've gone for Raffi. I think Raffi is so cute. You could obviously have it short for Rafferty, which again I think is really cute. That's definitely on my list. I'm saying it now and I'm like, do I want to put it in this video or do I want to save it? But yeah, I'm just going to put it in. But I love the name Raffi. Rafferty, Raffi, I think is super cute. Wilf and Raffi. I keep putting names with Wilf and being like, oh, that would be so cute. I don't even know if we'll have another baby. But yeah, Raffi, I love. For S, I've got another name where I prefer like the shortened version to the full version, and that is Sebi. So Sebi, I think, is gorgeous. I would love to have a little Sebi. I think it's so cute. It would obviously be short for Sebastian, which I do quite like. I like Sebastian, but I don't love it. I'm not crazy about it, whereas I love Sebi. I think Sebi is the absolute cutest. So that is like very high on my boys list at the moment. There is a name I prefer a little bit more to it that I haven't put in this video, but yeah, Sebi is very up there for me. I think it's absolutely adorable. For T, I have gone for Teddy. Obviously my godson, as I mentioned, was called Teddy. Short for Theodore. Wilf's middle name is Theodore after Teddy, and I just think it's just such a gorgeous little nature-inspired name that I think can follow them throughout their whole lives. I think it's so cute for a little boy. Yeah, I just think Teddy's the most gorgeous nature-inspired names. It makes me think of Teddy, which is only ever a good thing, and yeah, I just love it. I just think it's a lovely little name, so I would go Theodore or Teddy for my boy's name. U was pretty much impossible for a boy's name. I've gone for Uno. Uno was my girl's option. I've gone for Uno for a boy. I don't think I've ever come across a boy called Uno. I do think it could be quite a cool name. I think it sounds quite cool, Uno. But yeah, I definitely can pretty safely say I don't think I'm ever going to be having a boy called Uno. But it was literally pretty much the only thing I could come up with for you. V was really tough as well, but I do absolutely love the name Vinny. If you follow Susanna from Mummy Writes 6, I will link her channel below. Her youngest is called Vinny, and I just think it's such a cute name. Again, it's quite like old school, but like really cheeky. I think it's such a cheeky little name, Vinny. So that would definitely be my V choice. W, without doubt, would obviously have to be Wilf. His full name's Wilfred. We never really call him Wilfred, my mum does. I do like the name Wilfred, but it's always been Wilf, the name I've really loved. I just love Wilf on its own. Like, Wilfred's lovely, but Wilf on its own is like my favourite boy's name ever. I love the name Wilf, so that would definitely be my W choice. For X, I've gone for Xavier. I think that's how you say it, Xavier. It's very like... Is it Spanish, Xavier? I don't know. It's lovely. I love the way it looks written down. I think it's just like a really nice spelling. Yeah, when I was thinking I was going to have to come up with an X name, I was like, what on earth am I going to choose? And then as soon as I thought of Xavier, I thought, oh, it's obvious because it's just such a lovely name anyway. I really do like the name Xavier. Y, I literally couldn't come up with anything. Let me know in the comments if you can think of a boy's name, a nice boy's name beginning with Y, because I just couldn't come up with anything. So that is my biggest fail of the whole video, is that I literally just couldn't come up with anything. So I've just left that one blank. Points to you if you come up with a nice name in the comments. because I really struggled with Y. And then the last letter, of course, is Z, and I've gone for Zachary. You can, of course, shorten it to Zach, but I really like the full Zachary. With a H, I think, rather than a K. I prefer, yeah, I really like Zachary. I just think it's like a really nice, strong, manly name. And that is the end of the video. My next video should hopefully be a vlog of our week away, if all goes to plan and I do some decent vlogging. I hope you've all had a lovely week. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.